Hello everybody and welcome back to RainBro Crafts. My name is Colton and today I will be showing you how we make our ginger patchouli scrub soap. This soap starts out just like all of our other soap, which is by blending in our lye water solution, which is at about 110 degrees, with our plant-based oil blend. This is a signature blend that we've developed over the past couple of years. The amounts are down in the description box below, but we will just blend that up until it comes to a light trace. And then we will strain in our colloidal oatmeal slurry. This is just colloidal oatmeal, which is basically just really finely ground oatmeal with some water suspended in it. And that water is to cancel out what the kaolin clay, which is suspended in our fragrance oil, sucks up out of the soap batter, so it prevents cracking on the finished product. This fragrance oil that we are using is ginger patchouli fragrance oil from Brambleberry. It's gingery, citrusy, there's some clove, obviously patchouli, and there's also some sweet herbs. It's a really good complex blend. It's a really good like all-around fragrance oil, and we definitely have used it in the past and will continue to use it. This fragrance oil does have a little bit of vanilla in there, and vanilla is one of those fragrances, if it has vanillin in it, that actually discolors to a tan or a brown depending on the amount that's in the fragrance oil. You can think of it kind of like how an apple turns brown when you cut it, similar kind of principle. One thing we'll be doing with this soap that we haven't done on video that I can remember is adding in coffee grounds. So this is just ground up coffee that has already been used. So we made a pot of coffee in the morning, set aside those coffee grounds to dry, and then we pour that into, in this instance, half of our soap batter. That half is actually going to be uncolored, and then the amount of soap batter that I set aside in that red pour pitcher is going to be a black, it's activated charcoal that colors it. And with the discoloration that the vanilla in the fragrance oil adds, this will be a nice kind of like black and tan bar, kind of like a latte a little bit. This fragrance oil played really well with the soap, so it didn't cause an acceleration or anything like that, which is what we always like to see. For this bar of soap, I didn't have a clear idea in mind, which I think I should have. Originally, I wanted to do 4 layers of color, so a tan, a black, a tan, and then a black on the top, but that didn't really work out. So instead of doing layers, I still did layers, but I did something a little chaotic. I swizzled the 2 colors that are in the soap mold now, which you'll see me do in like 10 seconds together. I don't really remember why I did that. I'm recording this voiceover just about a month after I made this soap, so it's basically ready to use, but I just went in there with my chopstick and kind of went hog wild. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow, let the spirit take you, and adjust your design accordingly. In this case, it was just because I wasn't satisfied with what I was doing, not anything with the soap batter or the fragrance oil or anything like that. Now that I've swizzled that, I'm gonna pour over a majority of the rest of that tan soap batter to get a swirly kind of layer, a pseudo in the pot swirl, and then a solid layer of that tan color. And you can already see the difference from when we started making this soap till now, which is in real time, probably like maybe 5 minutes, how dark brown that's already turned. You'll be able to see here that I've been fairly careful with pouring over our little scrapers just to make sure that the layers stay fairly even. Now, it's a little counterintuitive to what I did on the bottom layer here, which was just to go really swirl crazy, but it still keeps a nice layer, and you'll see at the end when we cut into this bar what I'm talking about. We will smooth out this layer, and we have scraped out the container. We are done with it. Now we're gonna go in with that remaining coffee scrub soap batter and do some lines front to back to add a little texture and interest to the top. In addition to the uncolored soap base that I added there with the coffee grounds in it, I am going in with some of our favorite coppery mica suspended in a little bit of oil, and I'm just doing some little swirls to get those colors distributed throughout the whole top of that soap. And then I am going to go through and do a new favorite technique of mine, at least, which is to feather the top just a little bit to give it some more drama. It's a little hard to see in this angle, but when we cut it, you'll see this top of this soap has a nice kind of like whipped texture because of that swirling I did and the amount of like cure or setup that soap batter had. It kind of kept a little of that volume. We will just clean off the side a little bit because I was a little messy. Spritz it with some of our rubbing alcohol, put the lid on and tuck it away for 24 hours, and now it is time to unmold. You can see now this is 18 to 24 hours later, the color difference between the batter that I was pouring in there to the batter that is, or I guess it's not batter any longer, to the finished bar here now. It is a really pretty coffee color, which works well with the coffee grounds and that gold mica. It's a really pretty combination. And now it is time for a soap bar cutting montage. We are going to go ahead and slice up these soap loaves into 4.5 ounce size bars. We do that 4.5 ounce size overcut for 2 reasons. One, to compensate for the amount of weight that is lost for the water evaporating during the curing process. And the second is that while it is a small amount, we do bevel the edges of almost all of our soap, and that does take away a little bit of the weight of the final bar. The beveling is just with a normal like carrot vegetable peeler. And then after that, we actually stamp our soap with a custom logo stamp, and then we put on a really simple round sticker with some required information, but we don't label our soap outside of that. And here is that final product. This is after a month curing time, and this soap will be for sale May 1st online and at any in-person events. If you want to support the channel, we do have a subscription service. You can get your name here at the end and some other fun little perks, so check that out on our website. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see what RainBro Crafts comes up with next. Bye.